folks. Hopefully this is recording correctly. Dave Man here, Rollman Revolution. This one's going to be a little different. I just got over one of these, designer Fauci flus again. This time, rather than getting severe congestion and almost feel like I was going to drown in my own lungs, no, this time I got chronic hiccups. And I don't know if you've ever had hiccups for 4 hours, but try 10. Almost 10 hours and 12 minutes I recorded it. I finally got, before my body exhausted itself, and I think I passed out from them. But woke up the next morning to another round of hiccups. So I don't know what's flying around in these designer flus, but we really need to get to the bottom of that because I'm a pretty healthy guy, and I don't usually do too many things that are bad. Even though I am a smoker, I can still run 5 miles without any problems. It's really interesting about how well these new designer viruses know exactly what to target. I mean, if you have a bad pancreas, well, it'll get that. If you have a bad thyroid, it'll get that. If you got a bad lung, it'll get that. It's just so good at figuring out exactly what to target. And I don't know. I think these guys in these labs have had a lot of practice playing around with Mother Nature, and I'm sick of it. Okay, if we don't get to the bottom of what the hell's going on there, I mean, what the hell is the purpose of having HHS? Okay, we need to know what these damn pharmaceutical companies are doing, what they're giving us, and I want to see the damn data. I'm so sick and tired of all the assumptions. The commercials don't belong on TV either. Okay, if we're not selling booze and we're not selling cigarettes, then why in hell's name? Why don't we just start selling marijuana on TV? Why don't we just start putting all of it up there? It's going to be an all or nothing. It's like I said, are either we a society that cares about the health of our individuals, or are we just a society that says whatever goes, goes? It's all relative? Is that what we live in, a moral relative society? I mean, I think boundaries matter. That's what makes a nation a nation. That's what makes your house your house. That's what makes your home your home. That's what makes your relationship, your family. Boundaries. But somehow it seems like out in this, there are no boundaries. It's like, whoa, what? It makes no sense. No, boundaries are what we all have, okay? And everybody understands, and you can have respect for a person who has boundaries. It's very hard to have respect for somebody who doesn't give a shit about anything. That's the problem with people like me. I sit around too much and I think, all right? I can't stand people who don't even think or can't even come to a sensible conclusion of how they even got to the conclusion they got to in the first place. There's nothing worse than a person who thinks they know something and they really don't. And I'm one of those people now who've gotten to a point in my life where once you start running the bullshit, I lose it pretty darn quickly. Because again, I know you don't know what you're talking about simply by asking you one or two quick questions. It's very simple. And today, it's with all of the information we have out today and with all of the stuff going on in the world, transparency, knowledge, facts, we all need to stop laying in the bullshit and start talking in truth alone. I am tired of having conversations with people who have no idea what they're talking about. None. But yet they want to pass it off as if they're biblical scholars on every damn issue. Like I said before in many episodes, you don't hear me on here talking about basket weaving. 1 second. You don't hear me talking about basket weaving at all. Why? Because I don't know the first damn thing about basket weaving. And again, I mean, I could try to basically give you the synopsis of what it may be, but I would hit every mark incorrectly. But there are so many people that want to try, like, come on and just try to tell you that they're experts on everything. The mainstream media is a prime example of this. And anybody who still, like I still have people within my own family, and like I said, that still watch this stuff. And then they come out and they will say, yeah, well, I'm an expert on. No, you're not. Just because you heard somebody say something, look, that's like me telling you something. It's like anybody telling you something. You have a choice whether to believe it or not. That doesn't mean you know it's true or not, okay? Just because it comes from a sense of authority doesn't mean that the authority that's giving you that fact is telling you the truth. And if you play those games too damn long, well, you're going to find out the hard way that most people, especially in the world that we live today, are lying to you or are not giving you the full story. Okay, we have got to get past this part in our life where it's, because like I said, I sit around and think all day long. That's all I do. I sit around and think about trying to find better ways to make this world operate so that you don't have to work as hard. You know, everybody looks at Dave as the guy screaming at the damn end of the line going, hey, you gotta pay attention to what the hell it is I'm saying. And I'm like, no, you don't have to pay attention. The only reason I'm yelling is because all of the things that everybody else is missing out on and they're bitching and complaining about in their own life about, oh, I have to work so goddamn hard and I gotta work, do this, and I got, yeah, because you're not paying attention to the things of the people who's trying to screw you over. Like I said, there's so many people that keep telling me, well, like what Elon Musk is doing is wrong because, you know, think about all of those fucking government employees who lost their job. But do you know what those people were doing? And I'm not saying all of them, but there are so many agencies, okay, that were working actively against the American people, working as segregates to the mainstream media. You know, fake protests. Our government was subsidizing our tax money to put on fake protests to make it look like the opposition was against Trump. I mean, just think about how fucking mad that is. It's just, and still people are, you know, upset. Like, the mainstream media has no leg to stand on anymore. None. I mean, all of them. Just so smug. And they think they're just so much better than you. I just don't, like I said, I would never be allowed in a press room. You could never bring a guy like me too close to any amount of that concentration of bullshit in one room, because I would lose it. I would have a tornado. Every one of them would be like, it'd be like in a mosh pit. They would all go out of there with broken cheekbones and black eyes. Those people are absolute scum of the earth. And it's amazing because, you know, when you listen to there are some journalists still out there. There are a few really good alternatives out there. Because, you know, those are the people that were grinding it out, where they were constantly being censored in every platform. And those are the ones that finally made it through. And now they get to reap the rewards inside that White House. And you know what the response a lot of those people, those honest journalists are? It feels like a cesspool of shit. You can smell the garbage and the betrayal among them. I mean, it's a clique of this mindscape, which is Washington, D.C., it's been that way for decades now. I mean, it's amazing when you look at Washington, D.C. and like all of the little barricades and all the little avenues outside that city. It's all law firms, you know, it's all political analysts, or what they call it, political advisors, and, you know, campaign this and PACs, and it's just a concentration of everything that is wrong with this country, okay? I've said this a million times over. Get every lawyer out of there and put a businessman in there, and I'll show you a brave new fucking world, okay? The problem with Washington, D.C. is it's filled with too many damn lawyers, okay? I know we need legal people in this world, but we don't need legal people making all of the decisions, because look what happens when the judiciary and the legislative get involved. It stacks the game against everybody. Remember separation of powers? You can't have one who's writing the laws also be the one who's carrying out those laws. It's kind of like a catch-22 in my opinion. I don't know how that happened, but it seems like that's where it always seems to be. You have always lawyers, or all in your legislative branch. But it doesn't make, is it just me? Maybe I'm just old. I don't know. That's the way I kind of learned it. There was supposed to be a separation. Like, you can't be the one writing the laws at the same time interpreting them. And that's the problem. We have these guys who have figured out how to use these secret word games within the legal system to try to sneak shit in. You know, I'm a plain Jane kind of guy. I just want things to be, just lay it out. Stop hiding your friggin' what you're trying to do. Be brave. Like I said, lawyers are those telephone tough guys. Their power is in the word. It's in the minute detail, the details. That's what the legal system is. It's a way to maneuver shit. It's like a jiu-jitsu game of words. It's disgusting is what it is. And that's not what our country was supposed to be to begin with. This country is only great because of the people who live in it. It's the people that matter. Okay? And you can always tell. Look what's happening in Europe right now. What happened to Germany? What's happening to France? When you let all these migrants into the damn country, you destroyed the culture. You destroyed what made those countries great in the fucking first place. Shame on the governments of those countries. And I certainly hope that the people of those nations stand up. You need to stand up and fight back. I don't care. You're going to lose stuff in this whole process. Everybody's lost something in this game. But the only way you're going to win is if you stand up. Too many of us have basically shut our mouths for so many damn years, and it's like, Jesus, What the hell is that? That's not living. We lived under a rock. Allowed these people to just run away with it. It's like, what happened to culture? I don't understand why people think that culture is a bad thing. Being black is bad. Being white is bad. Being Asian, it's not. It's only bad when you ostracize somebody for being what they have no control over being. It's absolutely crazy. We live in a world today where we beat each other over stuff that somebody else made up. Because most of us don't feel the crap that they're talking about. Most of us don't feel the hatred and the vitriol that comes with these divisions and these isms and these feminism and wokeism, and it's so crazy, all of the divisions that they have set up on us. And in the end of all of it, really, this all goes away. It really just does all go away. It dissolves overnight when we realize that they don't really exist. These divisions, they're all made up. The only way this oligarch and these rich fucking people control us is by dividing us. That's it. Because all of us at the bottom, we're the ones busting our ass creating the societies that we have, okay? Think about everything that's built, everything that's made, everything that's you see in this society. It's done by you and me. It's not done by these rich fucks. They're the ones who finance it. But the finance game, we know, is all stacked against you. Look at what those people have been doing with our tax money. They were stealing it. Think about the millions of dollars. Just think if I could give $100,000 to every man, woman, and child in the United States. What they could do for them tomorrow. Fix so many problems in the immediate. But they don't want that. They want you suffering. They want you showing up to that job. They want you making the decisions to work for somebody else when you can't even come up with a new idea for yourself and maybe create your own business, because it's the smaller businesses and it's the independent businesses that really run America. They want you working for these big corporations under the control of them so that what they say goes. And again, like I said, maybe I just think different. Maybe I come from a different, group of people. But America is only successful when its thriving middle class and working class are at the top. And they have separated us, divided us, made up bullshit. It's crazy some of the crap that we've fallen for. And you know who you are. This wokeism crap, it's so silly. This transgender stuff and all those, it's all garbage. It's all falling apart now as it seems now. You know it is. Because it isn't real. It never was. And so many people, it's like forcing that shit. They kept forcing it on people. And it got to the point where even people in the gay community were going, wait a minute. Okay? All we wanted to do was tell everybody about how proud we are of our relationship and not have to hide it. That was what the whole purpose of coming out was, and the parades were, and all this. It's gone off the fucking reservation now, where now you got guys out there with no clothes on, shaking their bits in front of children. That's ridiculous. And like I said, I don't see how anybody said, well, that's normal. It's normal. Okay? Matt Walsh is a hero, in my opinion, for exposing the ridiculousness of all that. Think about it. Those people it's just, you can't even talk sense to them. Because even when you bring logic to them, they tiptoe around it and they go, you're making me feel uncomfortable. Why are you asking that question? It's like, these people are insane. But all I really hope for is that maybe tomorrow or the next day, we can all just stop fighting and start recognizing what we could be, and maybe so we stop having to go to these shitty-ass jobs, making these shitty-ass salaries, doing shitty-ass work that makes us feel useless. It's like, don't you want to have a job that you can basically be proud of? Or do something that you're good at, okay, and make a good buck doing it. That would be great. And we live in the richest country in the world where there is no doubt in my mind that is possible. So it's like, why don't we try to make that possible? We have the right people in power now. And whether you don't like to admit it or not, like I said, I love those people who want to come up to me and start bitching about Donald Trump now. I'm like, are you going to really honestly bitch to me about the last fucking 4 years with Joe Biden in office? Especially those who voted for them? Oh, you have nothing to say. Nothing to say. All right? The amount of fentanyl that's gotten in this country because of that man, and the amount of people that died is just unheard of. Unheard of. Look, the only way we are ever going to become a better nation is if we stop fighting amongst each other, recognizing where the truth is, the truth lies, and where the bullshit is. And then we just talk in truth. No more of this crap. No more games. Everything's transparent. I cannot wait till Kash Patel gets in there, my friends. You know why? I think he's one of the more interesting picks. Why? Because I've listened to Kash for the last, probably 8 years or so. Okay, I didn't know who the hell this guy was. But then when I started following the whole Russiagate thing, you have one hell of a freaking investigator there. Between him and Devin Nunes. I mean, just that team is like a masterclass. So what you have in the FBI is a person who knows how the system works, knows how the system is gamed, and knows where they hide all of that shit. So guys like Adam Schiff, I really would worry. As a matter of fact, I would lawyer up right now. I would probably make sure that you get all of that stuff together because, in my opinion, you have nothing to stand on. You are in deep trouble, my friend. But Kash is the most interesting one because you're going to start to see stuff come out over the next 100 days that is going to be like, what? You've got to be kidding. But that's the only way we're going to ever set the record straight in this country. We have to go back to the last 4 years. We have to go back to the 2020 election. We have to adjudicate that election. And people keep saying, well, why, Dave? It doesn't really matter. I was like, no, because there were a lot of things about that election. Look, I've been in elections for almost 20 years on and off, okay? I served in the 2001 when we were down here in Florida with the Chad situation and realized how screwed up that one was. But I'm not going to even get into that. Now, you don't have spikes at 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't have injections of votes, okay? Look, I don't care what anybody says. And the people arguing, oh, well, the court said this. They kicked it out of court on a lack of standing because the courts were all controlled by the Democrats, and you know this. But now we're going to find out for sure. It's going to get very interesting very quickly. So Kash is by far one of the more interesting picks of this whole administration. But it's not just him. Him connected with Pam Bondi, connected with Russ Vogt. I mean, it's following the money. It's following the money and then following the players that were directly involved with this money. You're going to start to realize that the government you thought was looking out for you, the people, especially the ones that have been in there for a very, very, very long time, deep embedded into the system, those names that you don't hear too often, yeah, you're going to find out exactly how corrupt your government is. And the one good thing about Kash Patel and why he is such a predominant pick is because he's not a biased man. He just looks at the facts, and wherever they take him, that's what you get. Like I said before, he wasn't the Trump guy in the beginning. He became the Trump guy when he realized that the government itself was making shit up against an acting, sitting president. Think about that. This is the CIA in action. And we said it before, all those intelligence agencies, or all those intelligence people, 51, who signed that thing, clearance is gone. Why? Because, again, they lied. The only way those guys make money is by selling their secrets, selling their access. It's amazing what we allow to go on in this country. Amazing. Meanwhile, you and I at the bottom are suffering, trying to make it from week to week, day to day, when we live in the richest country in the world. I look at these people walking around, and it's like they have no problem. Hunter Biden walks around, breaks all the crimes, breaks every major crime you can possibly imagine, treasonous against his country, doesn't serve a day in jail, doesn't serve anything. Oh, poor little Biden. It's just, again, if we don't restore sanity back to this nation, if we don't restore reality back to this nation, if we don't restore, honesty back to this nation, it doesn't really matter, okay? That's what we're going back to. We're going back to the rule of law. We're going back to a country that is respected. We come from a position of power, peace through strength. No more games, no more nonsense, full transparency. That's what I want. That's what I hope you want. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry I rant too much, but I got to let it out somewhere. Talk with you soon. Take care.